let's go.
Okay, but I think when you're, so I'll start with saying that whenever I put this matchup, I really always thought of it as we kind of both want the same thing. So I'm just going to kind of try and figure out what he wants and play around it to just make it look like I'm going to do what he wants and then with punish him. Like I only played this matchup off of with punishing. Like that is the only thing I would do. Is I would just like drift back near, pivot grab, full hop, double jump, falling drill. Uh, is another really good one because they're going to try and catch your landing on your full hop with a grab. You just double jump and you're on top of them.
Uh-huh.
Dash back, like dash in, dash back, dash in, shine, and then jump away out of the shine or even like waveland past them cross up. And then I also have this thing I would do where I would wall and hope that the fox runs into it, and if they didn't run into it, then I would just kind of like go to the platforms as a reset. But I think that the because I think that those ideas I had weren't actually that bad. It's just I kind of use them in this very specific way rather than, as we talked about last time, having kind of a general app- application for them.
Hmm.
I think that the general way to think about this matchup is that, and this is what fiction says too, is that you can kind of play this matchup in a way where you're solely looking to outplay the fox. So you both have the same things, right?
Hmm.
And both characters kind of hit like, 50% to death, 50% or death combos on each other, even off of a shine. Uh, so I really think you can think about this matchup in a way where you want to figure out what they want and you want to abuse that against them. And the
Yeah,
way to do that is to use reaction points, right?
yeah, like outplaying. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I think funny enough, I think I watched fiction lesson on the Fox Ditto, and they were talking about like with Josh Fan. I think they were talking about exact this like thing where like trying to outplay this like your like other Australian fox. Yeah.
Yeah, a fiction's example of that is that when fiction played Fox, he always did really well in his IBW.
Hmm.
Uh, I believe he was even plus on IBW in sets. I could be wrong on that. I think he was plus in tournament sets. Um, but fiction said he would just dash dance in the corner, do something that he knew IBW would kind of like lunge at him for, and then just like grab him, throw off stage, and give him. And he would just do that every stock. And it's like, and we were like he had it like he was so confident that he could just be IBW whenever he wanted to because of this strategy that he came up with. Uh, and you can kind of apply that idea to every fox. It's just you need to figure out what each fox wants.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, I kind of think of it as like this is not this this matchup is kind of about making this matchup is kind of about playing deceptively and not showing your hand. I feel like, and through not showing your hand, you want to kind of reel them into some sort of trap. It's like a very tricky matchup. Uh, and we talked about this before, but I really do think that the textile aspect is like having good textile helps a lot in this matchup, and this is something Fiction talked about with Zuppy, I'm pretty sure, because Zuppy struggles a lot with Moki. Where Fiction told Moki or told Zuppy that he doesn't think Zuppy's ever gonna be able to out textile Moki. Like he's never gonna have the insanely high RTC rate off of shines that Moki has,
Hmm.
for example, and that instead of thinking of it as you need to get your tech skill to that point, instead what you should do is you should try and figure out other ways of beating him. Now I kind of think you can do both at the same time. Like you can also seek to get really really good tech skill with your fox and also kind of pursue the idea of, even though you have like insane tech skill and insane punish team and stuff, like I don't know if you've ever seen Hacks play this matchup where his punish team is like the hack just hits the most wild things in this matchup, including like the hack shine setup where you'll do like the JC shine on their slide off. I think you've seen that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I
yeah,
don't.
yeah, like
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like it's insanely hard stuff,
Yeah. I
but
think for for me at this like level where I'm like I have the like ideas, but I just can't execute them. Like just having the tech skill will be like useful because I feel like if like in some situations I feel like if I had the tech skill to like hit him, I would have just like won the game. But
Yeah, exactly. Like I think it's a balance of both wanting to out tech steal your opponent in this matchup and also having that kind of that same idea that Fiction had versus IBU in terms of just kind of playing to their weakness because Fox will just one shot them for like their weakness, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I think that's kind of a good idea to have going into this matchup. But now we can talk about more specific stuff. We've talked about that. You have any questions or anything?
No. But like what want to get from this like this lesson is like a basic like rough game plan on like what should I like do when I sit down in tournament versus Will
Uh-huh.
or like Vincent, and like what am I gonna do versus them in tournament?
Okay. Okay, so I think before even starting, I think that for one, like I've explained this to you before that, or last time we talked that I don't think you need to do what everyone else does. Even though I do think Melee kind of naturally falls into certain constructs, I know it's super hard what fiction believes that every player kind of does the same thing deep down. Not that he doesn't think there's any variation, but like Zane plays Marth the right way. PPMD played Marth the right way, you know? Fiction, at least I think, kind of falls
Yeah,
into that
yeah, it's like
idea.
playing right to like what you think is right
Yeah,
instead.
yeah, exactly. I just think that there's a balance, and I think Fiction probably thinks
Yeah,
this too.
I'm pretty sure Will was talking to me like he said like especially in tournament like you need to do what's right instead of what's good, you know, or
Yeah,
what's
no, no,
like,
no, no,
you
no,
know,
no. That is absolutely true. Is
yeah,
absolutely true. You probably weren't around for when this is the thing, but people used to talk about how in friendlies you should play the character, in a tournament you should play the matchup. You should play the person. So like in friendlies you should play as if you're just playing against a fox and not the other person, and then in a tournament you should play against like the other person
yeah,
and like try and outplay them.
yeah, that's usually because like I feel like I play differently based on like well, Sheik Falco. Like when I play against like Alex or Darren or I mean Daz or Pop and Fresh, it's like different. Like it's like a different matchup when I play versus them because we are looking
Yeah,
for
no. I think I legitimately, while I think it's a cheesy thing to say, I think there's truth to it in terms of like when you're playing this matchup in friendlies. I think it is a better time to focus on kind of like the tech skill stuff, like we talked about, and then in tournament to kind of focus on just trying to find their weakness and super hard exploiting it because in the Fox Ditto you can.
yeah, and especially I think that I'll practice like well the plan would be to practice the tech skill more because like just like so I can have the basics like understanding because I don't know what like other people that I'm playing versus consistently with Fox like what they want yet, you know?
Mm-hmm.
What they want versus me. And so if I can't even like if I even if I can identify that, I can't even execute the strategy that I'm trying to do against I don't know, Crackers as Fox or something, you know?
See, no. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. The strategy that I used in this matchup, and I kind of explained it earlier, is that I would always like look for the whiff punish. Uh, I think if you watch IBAW play, you'll kind of see him. You'll see him like super hard abuse the full hop, right? That's like the stereotype, as he just full hops like a ton. Uh, because if the fox stays grounded, right, he really can't get anything. So he needs to full hop up air to you, right? Because he can't really with punish you with a grab. Like it's not gonna work. You just go top flat. If he just stays there, then you're gonna get pressure on him. Like your drill will beat a CC, your nair will beat a shield because full hop instant nair is a -6 on shield, so he can't grab you. He needs to shine on a shield, and you just take it away and you can't get anything unless he's like an ultra bot, which I've never played against the Fox or consistently RTC that.
Uh-huh.
So you could kind of make the matchup fall into like this full hop war, right? Uh, I definitely think that's kind of where IBW. That's kind of like the play style that IBW kind of like strays towards. Really hard using the full hop to like simplify the game. You know, uh,
Yeah. Makes sense.
and I kind of want to put forth the idea that I kind of think that is a similar thing to what I described earlier when it comes to whiff punishing, because if you full hop, you could whiff punish their grounded attacks, but they can't really whiff punish you. So if you full hop in place and a fox drills at you, you could whiff punish them with a falling up air or falling dare. But
Wait,
if you full
hold on,
hop,
hold on, hold on. Yeah, mom.
okay,
Oh, I don't know what's going on. I think my mom's getting groceries.
oh gotcha, gotcha.
If I'll, if she wants me to come out, we'll stop and then we can continue.
Okay, okay.
Okay, you
Uh,
can continue now.
okay, okay. But yeah, so you know how like you can't really whiff punish a fox's full hop, like even if they land a lot of the time because it's very ambiguous where they're gonna land.
Yeah.
Uh, like you can't whiff punish it with a grab. Like you can running shine it. It's more of a spring trap though because it's more so that you're not gonna lose to shield rather than it's gonna actually whiff punish in my experience. But if the fox full hops, then you kind of lose the threat of getting whiff punished while still having the ability to whiff punish them. And you can even kind of like you can escape. You kind of have an instant attack out of it if you do like the falling up air or something. Uh, I think is a good way to think about it. And that's why I think the fall up is really, really important in terms of thinking about like your game plan as being escaping what they want, which is like with punish, escaping what they're trying to get on you, which is with punishing you, and trying to get what you want, which is with punishing them. Which if you full hop, they can't really with punish you, but you could with punish them. Uh, and there is another aspect to it too. I wouldn't want to overcomplicate what you want, but there is also kind of this simple RPS of like you can wall with drill for their runs in, right? Like if you drill and do a short hop roof back drill and they run under you, obviously it just kind of wins. Uh, if you overextended shine, it'll catch their dash back. That simple RPS definitely like comes into play like a lot in this matchup, but I think as for a game plan
Yeah,
for
mom.
what you
Oh wait, hold on. Be right.
just take your time, take your time.
Yeah, I think she wants me to put away something. All right.
Okay, yeah.
All right, I'm back. Hello.
So welcome back, welcome back.
Yeah, my I think we might have to wrap it up quickly because my mom wants me to sleep
Oh no,
soon.
no, 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 it's fine, it's fine. But yeah, I think in terms of thinking for a mashup game plan for this, it's like really thinking about denying them with punishing you, whereas allowing you to with punish them using the full hop. And then there's also this aspect of like you can kind of wall their dashes in using drill and overextend on their dashbacks because they're trying to at the end of the day, like I said, they're trying to with punish you, I feel like a lot of the time in this matchup rather than
Yeah.
go preemptively. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like whenever I play against Grape Ape, yeah, I don't think we're gonna watch the VOD. But like whenever I play against like Grape Ape, I feel like I don't know. He just like whiff punished me, and then I felt like I needed to do something about it instead of just
Yeah,
like
I think what it's really about is finding your own with punishes, honestly.
yeah, cause I don't know. It just like made me feel like I had to do something. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I would definitely get why you feel that way.
Yeah. But
Uh, but but yeah, we can talk again later. I'll talk to you later.
yeah. I think we can just part two, something like that.
Yeah, fuck you. Oh yeah, have a good night. Have
Yeah,
a
good
good
night,
night.
good night.